What, you have a podcast?
Really?
Computer, show the historical documents.
This is an ABC News special report.
This is an NBC News special report.
Use your promo code, and for a limited time when you buy one MyPillow 2.0, you'll get another one absolutely free.
3:30 on the East Coast, and we are waiting for another update from law enforcement officials on the ground in Nashville. We expect to get it really any time now. They said before 5 p.m. Eastern. So as soon as we learn the details around that, we will, of course, bring it to you live. And they are revealing more about this suspect. We understand that there are armored vehicles that are at her home now.
We know that she was armed with at least 2 assault-type rifles and a handgun.
I just want to speak very briefly about the school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. You know, Ben and I have been doing this our whole careers, it seems. And it's just, it's sick. You know, we're still gathering the facts of what happened and why. And we do know that as of now, there are a number of people who did not make it, including children. It's heartbreaking, a family's worst nightmare.
With the weaponry that she had, I'm actually surprised that there weren't more fatalities. And what
it's not surprising that this woman went to this school because she understands the layout of this place and drove up there with a car that it appears the police either recognized or were able to identify easily, and went in an open side door.
Locked doors. I haven't done a security assessment yet where a door wasn't propped open with a rock or a piece of paper or something because people want to take shortcuts, or it's a hot day and they just want the door open. This is a church. I mean, churches are usually open, but then again, you know, when there's a school attached to the church, you have to employ reasonable security measures to seal off the church from the school itself where the children are.
How did this 28-year-old woman get a hold to at least 2 semi-automatic weapons and a gun? How did she get those things? What was her state of mind? All of these things that they're now trying to look at.
And especially for you, Mr. Gore. From my cold, dead hands.
Hello, today is Monday, March 27th, 2023. Just another Monday here in the United States of America. Nothing big going on. Nothing at all. There's a war in Ukraine. When it first broke out, a lot of people, a majority of people, the vast majority of people were very supportive of Ukraine. And since the presidential election's starting to, heat up, the rhetoric has taken its toll, and now come to find out a majority of Republicans, specifically, no longer support the war in Ukraine or the United States helping at all. Which proves that the media has control over these things. They can just keep beating the same story over and over again, and it eventually breaks through. It does change some minds. Speaking of the media, They got a gift today. Yeah, so there was a school shooting. Great news for the media in general because it means they have something to talk about. But school shootings are kind of boring now because we talk about them so much. They happen all the time now. So they're not exactly must-see TV anymore like they used to be. I mean, good God, do you remember Columbine? Woo! We could not stop talking about Columbine for like ever. Never. We just couldn't. And then Sandy Hook. Oh my goodness, Sandy Hook was great. It was fantastic. Dozens of dead children. I mean, wow, the emotion and the tension was just palpable, and there were so many people crying, and it made the president cry, and it was great news. But now, I mean, it needs something. It needs a little pizzazz. It needs a story, right? And we got that today. It's great. It was not a white male. It wasn't. It was still a young person, well, relatively young, 28 years old. Honestly, I don't know the color of her skin, but she's a she. She's a woman. That's new. That's different. I mean, right now, the ticker tape going across is like the FBI says only 3.7% of all mass shootings are caused by women. So this is great. They have something to talk about that's new. It's different. They don't have to say it all the time, you know? It really is. It's fantastic, you know? They get to do that. They haven't released the name of the suspect. They haven't released the names of those killed. 3 children. Not as good as Sandy Hook. I mean, Sandy Hook had a lot more. And 3 adults were killed. And of course, Fox News and the right so far are loving this. And, you got to put that little asterisk there. So far, they're happy with this because, one, it's a woman. So, we don't have to piss off the angry, straight white males. They're fine. They're fine. Today's the Women's Day. Let her have it, right? Shh. Right? They can talk a lot about mental health. Mental illness is a huge deal for them, even when it is a straight white male. But today, we have a woman doing it. And if there's anything the right loves talking about when it comes to women, is their menstrual cycles and their mental capacity to deal with stuff. Gotta watch out here. I'm trying really hard to be good today. So, 3 kids, 3 adults, a woman did it, so mental health is first and foremost. That is their number one thing they're pushing today. Not the guns. Shh, don't say anything about the guns. Although there was a guy who did actually do that, and all those clips you heard today were from Fox News. I specifically put it on them because I already know what the other channels are going to say, I'm bored by it too. This happens all the time. I'm bored, but it's something new that's happening. So I wanted to go to where I knew something new would be talked about, and that's Fox News, right? They get to talk about a woman doing it. That's great. Side door. Oh my goodness. Side door. She came in through a side door. And attacked a church. You see? So I can already predict, and the caveat is still there, the little asterisk of like right now, Fox News, OAN, all those networks, they are loving this. This is great. Someone attacked a church, you guys, and it was a Christian church, and it was white people that were attacked. It's great, and it wasn't by a straight white male. So this is fantastic news for them. They have a lot to talk about today. This is great for now. Because we still don't know why this woman did what she did, And if it turns out that she's got a reason that paints them in a bad light, well, then they'll shift back to the mental illness part really quick. Mental illness. But right now, I mean, I'm honestly surprised not one of them has brought up feminism or the left or, oh my God, this is an attack on our faithful institutions in the United States. Like, I really am surprised. I thought they'd get there. Now, don't get me wrong. This is early. Right? We're still in the reporting phase. Opinion news starts in a couple hours, which will be really fun because I guarantee you somebody like Tucker Carlson is just itching, right? A shooting in a school, man. I bet you that guy just practically orgasmed right there when he heard about it. A shooting in a school at a church too? Oh, this is great. And it was in Tennessee. It's a red state. Yes! Yes! This is great. Great news for them, right? 2 assault rifles. She went in with 2 AK-47s and a pistol. Wow. That is amazing. She had 2 of them, but don't worry about that part. We're just going to focus on the fact that it was a woman. Did you hear it was a woman? That's fantastic. And again, they love it. I mean, I've always been extremely cynical when it comes to the media and stuff like this, like emergencies. I always figured they're like that bit George Carlin does about how when he watches the news, he doesn't want to talk about the economics or anything like that. He wants to see bodies and explosions and fires and I know that those news anchors, like some of them are legit, don't get me wrong, but let's be honest, a vast majority of them are very bored doing the day-to-day traffic reports and the sports and the weather and all that. No. This is a breath of fresh air. This is news happening, and they don't have to do anything for it. They don't have to have a meeting about it ahead of time, at least the ones on air for it. I'll guarantee you, Fox News, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, they're all having meetings right now. And don't get me wrong, Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes, and all them are all having their meetings right now too. It's what they do. They're having a roundtable discussion somewhere. The other part of their staff is off, getting details and news, seeing if they can find out, who this person is before Twitter and Facebook take her posts down, because that's where the meaty good stuff is, right? Got to find out if she had a manifesto or anything like that, so they can turn the story into whatever they want. Really. That's what it is. That's what it's all about, because at the end of the day, they just want your eyeballs. They just want you tuned in 24/7 because they're going to have news and opinion, and they're going to tell you what you want to hear, But they won't tell you the truth, and the truth is every single one of them love this. This is a great story. It's fantastic. They don't even know the names yet, and it's a great story because it's different. If this was just another white dude, it would still be cool because it happened at a church. It happened at a Christian church in a red state. And yes, someone is coming after us. And yeah, you think I'm bullcrapping you right now. Tucker Carlson is already setting this up as an attack on white Christian American values. I guarantee you he will mention that at some point tonight, or if not tonight, out of respect for the dead, which we know he doesn't have any, it'll be on tomorrow, right? But let's be honest, like all the news anchors, sure, they put it on, right? They got the makeup and they look very sad and solemn and they're like, oh, it's so tragic and horrible, but mental illness, and I love the Second Amendment, and why didn't the school have a guard, or why didn't they lock their doors? I never see locked doors, and I just want little Johnny to be safe. But it's an act. It's an act. People who go into the news are usually there because they couldn't make it in Hollywood because they didn't look the part. Okay, there's degrees to this. It's one of the only things I believed, that Rush Limbaugh said that I kind of agree with, right? Is like he said, politicians are just ugly actors. And he's right. I mean, he was right. I'm sorry. All of these people, certain politicians do it better than others, right? And don't get me wrong. I think right after, like, the president, when he doesn't have prepared remarks, and he's literally like, because the president's always about to make a speech. That's pretty much their day, is they go out, they make a speech, they do a photo op, and so it's the most real opinion you'll ever get from a politician is when they think they're going up for one of those everyday things and they already have a script and everything, but then like literally right before they take the stage, somebody whispers in their ear, oh, hey, there was a mass shooting and it just happened over there and there's like 5 dead and you've got to say something. And then they just get booted out on the stage and they're like, oh, crap, right? Now, granted, they probably get a little more information than that, and they're going to see all the grisly photos that the media is not going to post. And so I think in those moments when you get the initial, information is when you got it. That was Obama crying. That was Biden we just heard. And even Trump, to a degree, kind of like, you could tell he was emotionally effective because he became entirely robotic and just started reading off the teleprompter. Like he was so emotionally scared of what to say or what not to say that he decided, I'm just going to go by the script. I am not going off script for this, which is actually smart for him. Okay, so credit where credit's due. He knew to shut up in that moment, whatever. But we don't know anything, but that's fine for now. Everybody can fill in the details they want. It's fantastic. There was a shooting. It happened at a school, so every parent in the country right now with kids at school turn on the news. They're clicking the websites. They're finding out what's going on, especially if you happen to live close to it. So parents in Tennessee are scared right now. Parents in Nashville, absolutely terrified. Everyone else, it's horrible. But let's be honest, I already know where Fox News is going with it. She went in through a side door. It's attached to a church. The church is attached to a school. So now we need to lock down the churches. It's so predictable. And I already know, this is why I didn't turn it to MSNBC or CNN, is because I already know what they're talking about. She had 2 AK-47s. How? What do you need 2 for? Like, seriously, if an AK-47, an assault rifle of any kind, an AR-15, AK-47, these things are meant for the battlefield. One of them for home defense, in air quotes, is overkill for home defense, right? That's massive, like way too much firepower for any one person to have in a single household. She had 2. So even if you're against all gun laws, even like the more you know about these weapons, the more you should be questioning, like, why do you need 2 of them? Like, seriously, why would anyone need 2 of these? Right? It's crazy. And to me, it's so simple. Like you heard, like, these people, they talk about it. You got one guy saying, how did she get 2 weapons? You had another guy who was like, actually, when I heard the body count, I was surprised because with the weaponry she had, I was expecting a hell of a lot more. And it's like, yes, that's the problem. Like, every single Fox News host tries to walk up to that line without crossing it and saying, oh yeah, maybe it's the guns. What a thought, right? But anyway, I just read this thing that said, 16 million people estimated own one of these AR-15s. Wow. That is a lot. 16 million rifles, military grade, are out there. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. No. Today's all thoughts and prayers, and we're not going to bring it up. We're just not. But seriously, today is a great day for the news media. They're going to be great. They're going to be able to sell the MyPillow guy. There's a reason why I put that at the beginning, because that's literally, like, I didn't edit out that first part, like, literally the MyPillow commercial straight into the Fox News alert and then an update of the story. Like, keep in mind, these bastards are making money off of this. That's why it's great for them. They're making a fortune. They love these. These are great. It's part of the reason, like, I think there's a very cynical bean counter inside of MSNBC, CNN, and Fox who is like, I hope they never outlaw an AR-15. I hope they start giving them away like candy at Halloween, because this is a free day. They all go black today. Like, they really do. All of them. They don't have to worry about anything. It's all fantastic. Really. So that's where we are today. I really don't have much else. I wanted to talk about some other things. I didn't want to watch Fox News today. I didn't want to hear about any of this. I honestly... It wasn't supposed to be like this. But the more I think about it, this could happen every day. Every day I send my kids to school, this could happen. And I can't do anything about it as a parent. I really can't. And I live in a blue state. All these people, especially on, the right-wing networks, even they are starting to crack. Like, some of them are really starting to crack. You can hear it. I mean, I heard it today. Is like, they're like, why is this always happening here? Here is in the United States. Why do we have the problem? what is it? And then they brought on a woman to talk about faith and how it's a lack of faith. Oh, this country is not religious anymore. And I'm like, there are plenty of countries in the world that have less religion than us. This is not a problem. So yeah, tomorrow's episode will probably be whatever we find out about this between now and then. We're still waiting on a update. The police said it would have happened by now. It hasn't. So everybody's just waiting. Oh, here we go. Breaking news right now. I'm reading it. The 3 children who were killed were all 9 years old. Great. But hey, Second Amendment, am I right? Thanks for making it to the end of the show. It means a lot to me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Tribal, Post, and most podcast platforms. This whole thing is a one-man show with 0 monetization. I use free software and only publicly available records. It only grows through word of mouth from fans like you. Thanks again, have a great day, and remember to always be kind.